Hey, good morning. It is Monday, June 3rd. I'm Andy Neal with your morning check. Westbound lanes were closed this morning on Souk Road in Langford after a motor vehicle incident that saw hydro lines come down. Drive BC first reported the crash just after 3 a.m. and the closure is between Ronald and Penwood roads. No word on injuries or what caused the crash, and BC Hydro says more than 1,100 customers without power in that area since 2:30 a.m. and expects power to be restored around 8:30. Well, the National Inquiry into Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women wants health service providers across Canada to develop programs that could help young people recognize the signs of being targeted for exploitation. The inquiry's final report, released publicly this morning, has more than 200 recommendations to the federal government and calls violence against Indigenous women and girls a form of genocide and a crisis that has been centuries in the making. Well, a crowd gathered at City Light Church on Obed Avenue last night in Victoria, with protesters voicing their displeasure with controversial speaker Jen Smith back in town. Now, Smith has been critical of the sexual orientation and gender identity, or SOGI, anti-bullying program in schools, and protesters at the venue argue Smith is promoting discrimination. Now, Smith says the erosion of freedom speaking tour is not discrimination and falls under free speech. Police in Victoria say budget cuts have left a shortfall of over $78,000 needed to cover the $122,000 cost of Policing Canada Day celebrations. City Council is expected to discuss the issue on Thursday. Councillor Ben Isaac has suggested reducing the scope of celebrations to the legislature grounds and adjacent streets, but Mayor Lisa Help says that's impractical and the city should cover the cost from contingency funds. Well, weary residents of high-level Alberta can go back to their homes today for the first time since a mandatory evacuation order was issued 2 weeks ago when a wildfire neared the community. An evacuation alert will remain in place, though, and people might have to flee again. The fire is close to 2,800 square kilometers in size and still out of control. U.S. President Donald Trump and his wife Melania have been greeted on the Grand Lawn of Buckingham Palace by Queen Elizabeth and joined Prince Charles to inspect the Guard of Honor at the palace. Now, before Trump arrived, he lashed out in a tweet against the mayor of London, who said he should not be allowed a state visit.
That life will carry on.
Godzilla King of the Monsters is also king of the weekend's box office. The sequel brought in $49 million for its opening weekend. Disney's Aladdin dropped to the number 2 spot with about $42 million. Well, after getting thumped 7-2 at home Saturday night, the St. Louis Blues will try to tie the Stanley Cup final again with Game 4 this evening in St. Louis. Boston up 2-1 in the series. The Toronto Raptors are waking up knowing they blew a chance to go up 2-0 in the NBA Finals. Golden State used an 18-0 run last night to start the third quarter on its way to beating Toronto 109-104 to even the finals. Game 3 goes Wednesday in Oakland.
My BMX bicycle all the way across Canada to raise awareness for addiction and show people that there is hope.
And that is Matt Fee of Duncan, who was attempting to cross Canada on his bike, cycling for sobriety. He's going 60 kilometers a day and started in Halifax a month ago. He's in Quebec now and hopes to be back on the island to finish the journey in Victoria by October, all for a good cause. Now, showers for the north coast today and some drizzle this morning for Tofino and the west coast, although that should clear, and it's mostly sunny day elsewhere on the island. And there are your Monday highs. Well, we always love to know where you're watching from, and don't forget to like and share the CHEK Facebook page. Stacey Ross will have CHEK News tonight at 5, followed by Ben O'Hara Byrne at 6 and 10. That's been your morning check. I'm Andy Neal.